get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you, don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's to the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for banners. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done near every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Speed at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just wanna make enough to pay dividends. Then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Renegade, 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 renegade.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
A first down carry for Barkley. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now Jones looking to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Powell. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Jones now to throw on second down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Larry Fitzgerald, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Lock in. Red, up. Move.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Working for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain, they would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Lock in.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
He ain't going nowhere. Red, up. Lock in.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A Chicago first down, the former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky.
Red, up. Lock in. Move.
A first down carry for Davis. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Lock in. Hey, gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 good yards here on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Move. Lock in.
They run. This is Cohen. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. He's going to get it running right. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try to punch it in with Davis. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Mike Davis, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
To throw on second down. Jones throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a third down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing, Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Let's go, let's go.
On second down, Trubisky is going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On first down, Jones. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot! Hot!
Here's Jones looking to throw on second down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jones throwing on third and long. Airing this one out. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. This is the running back, Powell. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
Hurry, hurry! Lock in, lock in. Gotta go, gotta go.
Trubisky to throw again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Cohen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
You see it? You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lock in. Gotta go.
This is Cohen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Hang on, we go. You see it? Move.
They try again with Cohen. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This is Cohen on the toss. Gets around him. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Lock in.
On 2nd down, Davis. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Mike Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Jones now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not that. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Lock in, lock in.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Off the toss, Cohen. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants! Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he knocks it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. To throw on 2nd down, Jones looking sideline, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. 3rd down here.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Jones. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. And that's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
Jones throwing again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Gone, 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 gone.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the score. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
Gotta go. Move. There we go. You see it? Lock in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Run, up. Lock in. You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Lock in.
On 3rd down, that's Cohen, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Jones now off the play fake, being chased out left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it looks like the Bears are going to win the football game. Here's a give to Davis. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for the Giants, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, man? Hey, I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a... These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a... In jail I had... I make you cut off the... Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. Finna got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you. Rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big Benz like Sasquatch. Every time you see it,